Hey everyone, Lance here and welcome back to the Epics'N'Stuffs channel. So I put out that video not too long ago regarding like the GW release cycle, like pre-orders and stuff like that, and as to whether or not it's becoming a bit too FOMO. Had some really good comments and engagement on that, so thanks for anybody who commented, shared their thoughts. It also helps potentially give a little bit of insight into retail. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily translate into like the real world, if that makes sense, like how it comes to retail. But knowing what people like, don't like, and think about the hobby in general is always good, especially for me who's still fairly new to it. And somebody did mention, they were a bit, I think they used the word flabbergasted as to why I would open a store in this climate and in this hobby, given the margins the way they are. I say this a lot in store, and I think I've said it before in a few videos. Typically, I wouldn't have. The only reason this is anywhere near viable is because, thankfully, we do, I have help from my friend Matt, and so thanks to him. And then also, we do painting commissions, and I do 3D sculpting commissions. So that satiates all the day bills for our personal lives, and the store satiates itself, at least for the time being, type of thing. So without that, we if I was to just work at this myself, nothing else, using the income from the store to pay my own living wage, then yeah, it would not be viable, and I would be flabbergasted as well. So, any stores that pop up and like this, there might be some additional funding or other way that they're actually making money. So yeah, that's the way. But the hope is it does become like super profitable in the future, right, and grows. Anywho, that little bit of a long intro out of the way. If you like this type of stuff, then why don't you subscribe and do all that good YouTube jazz, and it will make me very happy. But I thought I'd give a little bit of an update at the store, because I don't think we've had one for a while. And I've made a couple of changes, some very recent, literally within the last couple of days type of thing. So a lot of people have been talking about a game table, and I've been wanting to learn the game itself, or games themselves. So I think I mentioned in the past that we did try putting a table that could satiate a 6x4 game. 6x4, well, a 2,000 point game. And when we put it in, it was just a bit too large, and stock was probably worth more there as opposed to just a gaming table. So I did try it again, given the current layout, and I moved some stuff around, and we could fit something in, but only just. If there was seating either side, it'd become really uncomfortable. So what we went ahead and did is set up a table here like this. So, still has a SCADIS on it, so we can put some stock on there. Has a little display cabinet, and underneath we've put some Kallaxes there for storage. But that table, it fits a spearhead board, or at least the Fire and Jade one. I'm not sure whether or not, off the top of my head, they come in bigger sizes. It just about fits the Tomb World board, which seems to be slightly bigger. And we're hoping it fits stuff like, according to what we've checked, Blood Bowl, that type of jazz, right? So, we might be able to crack open a game. We've got we've got loads of, I say loads, we've got loads of little boards and mats and stuff we can put down and play ourselves. I also decided to bring a little drinks cooler from home that was just sat doing nothing, the one that looks like an Xbox. It's really janky. It's one of those horrid Peltier coolers, but it does keep drinks cool, so probably not very efficiently. But it is what it is. Now I can just have some cool drinks, and we can maybe stock a couple in store, because believe it or not, we've had people ask for some drinks, and I am able to get them from wholesalers and that jazz. So drinks, maybe either that, or you'd be taking from my stash of Dr. Pepper, which I adore at the moment. Came out of nowhere. Or you're not allowed to touch my Monster Nitro. If there's a Monster Nitro in there, no chance. Anywho, but yeah, it might work, might help, but in some downtime, when instead of me going around and trying to re-merchandise the store, I can actually just sit and learn, play a game, or I just have somewhere else to set up, put stock. You know, I could put new releases on there, for example. You know what I mean? People, it'll catch their eye. What's happened to the rest of the store is like, you know, we've just filled and taken everything and condensed it into, you know, areas rather than just having like empty space, right? So we've got a load of stuff, and the back wall still, I've got a bit of room, but again, we're going to grow into that. And we've got this this Scadis pegboard to put some stuff on. But like you can see, sorry for the people who get disorientated by a lot of walking, all the paints we've got still in this corner. There's still plenty of room around here to sit and look. All your big paint stuff is down low. Some other stuff stacked everywhere. And then we've got the big wall of Warhammer. So yeah, it's coming together. It's pretty cool. So in the next day or so, you know, we'll be putting up those cruxes. We were talking, those Crux Terminatus boxes and all the ultramarine stuff that came up in discussion in the last video. Let's put this down so I don't make people sick. And there you go. The table works as a good angle for video filming, I guess, because it's a nice service to put stuff on. So yeah, we've got all those pre-orders and stuff coming in. We've had our allocation on what we could afford, type of thing. We splurged out on that. The stock should be arriving sometime very shortly. And another thing we've been thinking about recently, and this might not come to a surprise to some, but you know, and it was mentioned in the comments of the last video, like scalpers. So, you know, when you put something up online, not every inventory system allows you to you know, enact a quantity limit on what you sell. So you know, you put something online, you might put one per person, but then it's easy for somebody to just put 5 in their cart if you've got that stock and then buy it all. So with these limited edition boxes, there's some contemplation or working in our heads to think about not selling them online. If we had like hundreds, it'd be a different thing, right? But we have a lot of players locally who come in and ask for these boxes, usually like a day after, 2 days after. And it would be unfortunate for them not to get one, given like they're in more frequently, they're spending more money. So from like a business sense, you know, again, as it's small and local, when you have a very finite amount of stock to give out and it's in high demand, and that demand could be satiated locally, it's probably best to not put it online for the entire world to look at. Well, in this instance, most of Europe. So we do have some customers who are like serial online purchasers, and I get that. To anybody who's like, my thinking is, to anybody who has like reserved a box with us, i.e. shown real interest, and all those people who have our repeat customers, we would probably reach out to them because we capture their emails and stuff like that, their name, and you know that they are interested in this. You know, if they want to purchase it online, we can maybe do some online transaction so that they can either take advantage of the payments facilities that are offered online, or purely because, you know, they show an interest before we announce that we're not going to do them online. And this isn't unique to us. Like the only reason I'm actually thinking about this is because other large, you know, some large game companies have done this exact thing with the likes of Toon World. So Toon World was the last, in my mind, the last big FOMO box that was released, and there were some online retailers who you knew had a lot who weren't selling them online and in-store only, purely because of stuff like this. Scalping, people trying to buy like 4 or 5 boxes, and it's like, you know, they're not buying 4 or 5 boxes to play with them, right? They're buying 4 or 5 boxes to maybe keep one, sell the rest on a profit, and then use that to pay for the one that they've purchased, which doesn't sit right with me, to be brutally honest. So in this instance, given the allocation we have, and there was no light limit from GW in this instance, you know, we could order as many as we want as long as we feel we could have sold them all. So in this instance, we ordered as much as we could afford. amongst other stuff, and then yeah, we're gonna do them in store only, and reach out to those individuals who have shown interest via us directly, to see if they can, you know, and let them know they can purchase it online this time. But I think going forward in future, whilst we're small, FOMO boxes like that we might just do in store only, just because we don't have hundreds or thousands of units. Now, I guess that might be controversial, and I'm always, you know, open to opinions and thoughts on stuff like that. But like, you know, when voicing that type of thought, just think about if you were in that position, right? I'm sure some people wouldn't care about, you know, somebody rocking up online and then buying their entire stock. But that doesn't really, for me, that doesn't build a community, right? And it doesn't help the customers local who help prop up this type of business. It doesn't help them, right? So, you know, just think about the situation we're in that sense. Yeah, and it was just good to hear some different opinions. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I'm excited. Like, I can't wait to see the stock. I'm probably gonna, like I said, I think I'm gonna get some of the Victrix on the card myself. I think they're quite a cool set of models, and yeah, I know we've got some people who might be interested in it to purchase it so that we can then do a commission for them based on those models. So that should be fun. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Contentious or no, with regards to online only stock, limit it to one per customer, that type of jazz. Interested to know your thoughts. And speaking of that, you know, the Crux Terminatus box might not be up online, but we do have a website, and we have, you know, just, you know, same GW facilities as everyone else. So if you want to order some stock through us, just get out and get in touch. www.Epics'N'Stuffs.com. There's a contact form on there as well, so you can email us direct if you want to do that. And obviously we sell lots of stuff as well, right? And we do commissions and all that jazz. So yeah, there's no harm in reaching out, or just, you know, let's chat. Comment below and all that good YouTube accoutrement. I'll leave it there. I don't want to ramble too much. But yeah, let us know what you think. Take care, have fun, and see you soon.